The brown ghost isn't a silent fart. It's our guest host, our ghost. Please welcome Julie. So we're back, and we brought a friend.
Hi.
This is Julie.
What up?
So let's start out by asking you why you wanted to play podcast with us.
Because it's fun. And I like how we all banter back and forth. I mean, I guess the lead up to the live show was pretty fun.
You're not worried about us getting like 10, 12 viewers and you getting famous?
They're mutual friends. So one of them is Patrick. So there's one down, 11 more friends to go.
There's a high probability that somebody may come up to you in Walmart and be like, hey, can you sign my titty?
Oh my God. If I knew how to sign my own name, that'd be fine.
You just give them like a thumbprint.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, that could get really interesting.
No flash photography.
You know, as they cut their titty out.
Oh, no pictures, but you can sign this with your thumb. Okay.
Or it could be like Ash Wednesday. Just
yeah. right above their nipple.
You want a third one?
So, let's talk about people are going to think that you're white.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I'm not.
Surprisingly.
I'm very dark.
It's winter time.
Yeah.
And we're slightly pale.
Yeah.
But you're Puerto Rican?
Very much so.
100%?
Yes. There's a little hesitation, but yes.
So...
as far as you know.
As far as I know. Well, honestly, I've been trying to do research on it because I can only go so far on Ancestry.
Okay.
Because there isn't, there's orphans, adoptions, and just lost in a sea of nothing.
Yeah, because when we're like doing my dad's research on there, there's, with him being from Cuba, there's like nothing.
No, there's nothing.
Like all the DNA links that we have on there, they're from Africa and they're like really distant.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, this is horrible, but I'm like, these are my slave cousins.
I feel you. Yeah. No, my older brother actually did one of those DNA things, and it was pretty surprising, honestly. It was like mostly Spain, but
yeah. So that stuff's weird. When I watch it, it's like ever changing.
It changes all the time.
So I don't really, for me, it's like I want to just know who's like close.
Right.
There's like millions of them on my mom's side, and I'm like, can you guys stop having sex so I can figure out who's related to my dad?
Yeah, no, I get that. When I did it the last time, I got as far as my great grandmother.
Okay.
That's it though. Like there are no pictures, nothing.
So who was the first people to come to the United States?
Well, my mom
technically that's the United States, but like,
yeah. Well, my mom was born in Puerto Rico, so she, I guess, would be the first. My dad was born in New York City, and I believe his mom was born in Puerto Rico.
Did she come to New York City right away?
That I don't know.
Oh,
she passed away a few years ago, and she didn't really speak English. She didn't like any of the grandkids. She didn't talk to any of them. That is actual factual. She did not. Oh. She had a rough upbringing. Mm-hmm. Both of my parents, all of their families. It was not good.
Yeah.
Not good. And I'm just now at 36 learning all of this because they didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, my dad he's very primitive.
Yep.
Captain
And that's
Caveman.
like the politest way to describe it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of violence and third world country shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and
No,
I'm just like,
I get it.
when we were little, he would try to hide it from us, like, I mean, to the point of you're getting a whooping if you saw it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I
And it's
lucked
like-
out.
It's like, whoa, we just came home from school. Why are we getting spanked?
Because you looked at him cross-eyed. It didn't matter because you breathed the same air he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. No, it's
Yeah, so now Puerto Rico hasn't always been part of the U.S.
no.
Do you know when that happened?
You're asking the wrong person, man.
You don't pay
Like-
attention that much.
No. I know where I was born.
Well, because like my dad, how he got here was that he swam because they were from Santiago de Cuba.
He literally swam.
He swam across the what do you call that thing?
The
Like
ocean?
a gulf or whatever
Okay.
to U.S. territory because it's right by Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
So
Holy shit.
getting to Guantanamo Bay, then he becomes a refugee,
Yep.
and then they were granted him asylum in the country.
Oh my God.
But he did that when he was like early teens, and he said that he had to go through a minefield on the beach. I'm like, what?
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a movie right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But he didn't tell us none of those stories until I was an adult, you know. And
Yeah.
then he got real free with telling us like, I'm like, why are you not in prison for the rest of your life?
Oh my God. He's like, oh well, I'm old enough. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's funny. My dad, he doesn't talk to me. It's very like old school with my parents. You know, the guys share information with the guys, and the women folk do what the women do in the kitchen, and things like that. It's very conservative.
Yeah.
Very, very old school Puerto Rican. So the information that I know of my father, I actually learned from Patrick telling me
Oh, okay.
because he shared it with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he was like, I could tell the guy.
Yes.
Not my little
But he doesn't
girl.
want to talk. No. Mm-mm.
She's not allowed to know how dirty I am.
No. The things that he has told him, like, because he was in Vietnam. So the things that he's told him are just insane.
So I have an uncle that was in Vietnam, and he just passed away, but the guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
Totally out of line. I loved him because we would just sit there at family gatherings and just shit on everybody
Yes.
for fun.
Yes, my type of person.
So he told us this story the last time I was hanging out with him, how him and one of my other uncles were in Vietnam, and some guy on a moped was riding down this road, and they were like at a rice paddy out in the middle of nowhere. And he was asking him something. I forget what he said he asked him, but he was like pointing him off to my other uncle who was over there taking a leak in the rice paddy.
Yeah.
This guy rides up on his moped and grabs his dick.
What?
And I'm like,
What do you do?
I don't know.
What do you?
I don't know. And neither one of them know how to behave in public. So
I don't even.
he's just telling us a story, and I'm like, oh, huh?
Like you think it's going somewhere, and then the
Yeah.
curveball comes in. You're like, well, hold on a second now. Now you're just making this up.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
my God.
many of those stories. That guy was pretty
I
hilarious.
can't say I've heard anything like that. I thought it was going to go complete. So the story that I heard from my dad is like, is not funny. They're in, wherever they are. And then, you got to be careful of the kids coming around, blah, blah, blah. There's this one kid who apparently came around with a grenade and just,
Ooh.
yeah. See, I thought you were going serious. And then you
No.
took that curveball. You're like, here's this.
Yeah, he
Jeez.
never talked about any of that. I think it was more probably because he used to have flashbacks and stuff. So he's probably like, we'll leave that
Yeah.
out of the conversation. We'll just get to the funny shit.
There was nothing funny with my dad.
Nothing? Oh, we can't. Our families, or at least my families, they're terrible. They try to pretend like they're not, but I'm like, I didn't get that from nobody. I didn't make it up.
Like when your one uncle's talking about behaving at church and he's wearing alcoholic beverage t-shirts going to church.
Yeah, and gets right out of church and starts talking like he came out of prison.
Oh my God, that's amazing. See, that's a good time. That's a good time.
We were in like a restaurant right after church, and the waitress had a nose piercing. And he's like, "How do you blow your nose with that?" He's like, "Does it come out the side?"
And then when she's done, it slowly goes back in.
Yeah. So I'm real young when he's telling this to this lady, and I'm like, "Oh." So it's like I got to a point where it's like you just gotta roll with it
You
because
have
they're
to.
gonna say the most asinine
They'll
stuff. in
embarrass you,
public.
all that good stuff, and you're like, "Yep, this is family."
Bring it. 'Cause I'm
That's
ready
not as
now.
bad as when I don't know what restaurant we were at, and he yells to Taylor about something about the toilet paper in the bathroom from across the restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my god.
my cousin, the one that was supposed to submit an entry for
Yeah.
for the you did what his
Who shall remain nameless?
fuck you, Mike.
Sorry, Mike.
So his daughter, we were all in this Mexican restaurant that's like not really a restaurant, it's more like a drive-through. So the lobby is like a McDonald's joint where it's like counter, 4 booths. That's it.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so it's really tight quarters.
Yeah.
And she goes to the bathroom, comes out, and my other uncle goes into the bathroom and comes out and just yells across the place, "Taylor, how did you wipe your ass?" And I'm like, really?
Everyone turns like, well, we're all wondering now. How did she?
Yeah. So I'm just like, that's the kind of
That is
people that
awesome.
we came up with. So,
That is
you know,
awesome.
so when I misbehave, it's their fault.
Well, yeah, you got to blame the roots.
Yeah.
Not the actual
You
person.
had to definitely grow up in a way where you were strong enough to be able to handle it.
You got to be thick-skinned.
Yeah, because they were going to come after you bad if you weren't.
Yeah.
And as we got older, then the grandkids, we would try to get our grandmother to beat them.
Oh.
She did a good job of that when she was beating Sammy.
Well, she got very mild mannered.
I mean, I guess as you get older.
Yeah, and I was like, or like, we would get them to start fighting with the intention on my if they're fighting, she's going to come here and start slapping them around, and we could just sit here and watch it go down.
Watch it unfold in front of you, and you're
Telling the one kid, "Don't let them say that about you."
instigating assholes. I love it.
Yeah, or snitching on them. Grab them, look what they're doing.
Patrick does that. Like if I meet, he actually, no. There was this one time I think I was eating cookies. And he said, "Buddy, look what mommy's got in her mouth. Merritt, look what momm's got." I'm like, "God damn it, shut up.
Yeah, so they run in there. What
These
you
are my
got?
cookies. I don't want them to have any. Stop it. You're not getting any now."
While you're in the kitchen.
Or trying to unwrap something and it's loud as all get out.
Yeah.
And what's that? Nothing. Nothing.
So, what are like your earliest memories of becoming whitewashed?
Well, so my dad was in the Army. So my earliest memories of being whitewashed. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Because you couldn't have started out that way if they're both from Puerto Rico.
no, well, I did.
You did?
Because they wanted, like they didn't even want to teach any of us Spanish.
Really?
And I just found out last year why.
Do you know Spanish?
I don't. I can understand, enough of it to get the conversation. But when I asked my mom, because of the office that I work at, it would be extremely helpful if I spoke Spanish instead of having to call my mom, put her on speakerphone, and have her translate. So, but both of my parents, they speak Spanish very fluently. But it's like my mom said that it's kind of like, I don't want to say hick, but a not so eloquently spoken Spanish. So they speak hick in Spanish. And she didn't want us to learn that. She wanted us to learn how to properly speak it. So instead of doing that, she's like, "No, you're on your own."
Yeah, so Puerto Rican version of hillbilly kind of stuff.
Hillbilly, not hick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I was
if
trying to go for.
I don't know if it's any better.
Well, But that's so growing up, it was very much,
Yeah.
you know, they didn't play any sort of Spanish music. It was Spanish meals, you know, that we had to eat. But everything around us was very whitewashed. The people
Really?
we were around. Yeah, absolutely. You know, living in Panama. And then when we got evacuated, we went to Idaho. So very, very white. White.
So my
area.
family was definitely different. So my mom's side of the family, she's Spanish and Native American from Southern Colorado. And they all speak Spanish, but it's kind of broken. So it's
Yeah.
like English, Spanish mix.
Yep.
They'll start out in English and then you're like, they just transition to Spanish. You're like, whoa.
Hold on. I heard you
Bring
up
it
until
back.
this point. and then I hear my name. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you saying about me?
Yeah. So, but my mom never really spoke Spanish to us. She would speak it with my dad because, you know, with
When they're
him
talking
being-
about you.
Well, no, just because he came from Cuba and, you know, and even he's very strict. Like he still wants me to speak Spanish. And I'm like, well, that's your fault.
Yeah, but I can't.
You know, I'm like, I barely speak English.
You speak monkey very well.
Yeah. So, you know, he wasn't around a lot because of his abusive stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, you weren't really here to teach it. And
Right.
Mom spoke English.
You're just supposed to know it.
Yeah, I'm just supposed to
You
know
are
it.
being, yeah. I get
So
it.
it's like, then in high school you take Spanish, and I'm like, this is not.
It's not the same.
That's not what they taught.
No.
You know, it's a totally different animal.
Well, that's the reason I took it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna ace this.
Yeah.
And I got
Felt
home, I'm like,
flunk.
Mother, help me. And she's like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know. I thought you would know.
Yeah. I had nothing but Mexicans in my Spanish class in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they all failed.
Yeah. I'm like, this
Was
is
it because they couldn't read or just because they didn't know Spanish?
It's because they thought they could just walk through the class without doing anything.
Yeah, that's not how you
You
do
know,
it.
and I'm just like, well, how can you fail it if you know it?
Right.
So
Isn't it like
what-
taking
what-
English for them?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Be like, did you fail English, lady?
I can understand if they failed English, but if you're learning your
And I failed both of them.
language, that is awesome. Kudos to you.
Yeah, failed both of those. Failed math. Well, no, I barely passed math because the teacher had the audacity to tell us.
Oh, she had the audacity.
Yeah, well,
Oh boy.
she at the beginning of the year she broke down what we had to do to pass the class, and she said you don't technically have to do any homework if you ace your tests.
Okay.
So at that moment, I said, I'm not doing.
You're like,
any
well
homework.
then. Yeah.
So I
wouldn't.
didn't do any homework. And like halfway through the year, she's sitting there telling me, she's all, you've got a D. You know, you haven't been turning in your homework. And I'm like, but I'm passing. You told me how
You
I
said.
could pass this class.
The
and
nerve.
that's what I did. So I should have an A
Yeah.
because I did the math.
Did you wind up passing?
Barely.
Oh. You're like, I like this no homework rule. We're just gonna stick to that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So
So buttons.
Yes.
tell us about your you did what story.
God, this is where it gets lame. It gets really lame.
Just tell
I'm
it.
sorry.
Just tell it.
Well, it's not something that I physically did yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Physically?
Physically, yeah. I mean, I signed up for the Boilermaker.
What's that?
It's a 15K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh. What was your face dropped?
Well, because I ran out of breath moving a sofa like 50 feet at work. I'm like, I need to sit.
Yeah, I need to sit on the sofa that's not in its rightful place yet.
It's a good thing it was a sofa. Just laying down on it.
So yeah, I signed up and it's in June. And I'm not prepared whatsoever.
So you plan on walking it?
You can't.
You can't?
You're not allowed to walk it.
Really?
Yeah,
What do
that's
they do?
one of the
Like whip
stipulations.
you like a slave?
Probably.
Well, good thing you're brown.
Yes. Should
You're
be
just
used
gonna
to.
have to put on a slave
oh, well.
outfit. That's what you should do.
What exactly is that?
Barely, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So it's in. Anyway.
Yeah. Now
No.
I gotta think of a female slave outfit.
I mean, I think I'd be too hot in anything like that. I picture like a long, heavy dress,
Yeah, you would have to be.
right? No, I can't
Hey,
run in that.
Princess Leia didn't wear anything like that when she
Churning
was a
butter.
slave.
Mm-mm. Churning butter. No. So yeah, it's 9 point something miles. It's in Utica if you guys want to go. That'll be fun.
That's a long walk.
It's
We're gonna stand at the finish line.
yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
You
we're
can
like,
celebrate. They have a beer tent at the end, which I don't partake in, so you can
you
have
don't
all
drink
that.
beer at all?
I don't drink anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even water?
Water. That's about it.
The high class water that you
This is
request.
the $10,000. Where is it?
Yeah.
Give it to me. I demand my.
We got
What are you pointing at?
Poland Springs in the refrigerator.
Oh. The 7-Up and the Sun-Kissed. Ooh,
Yeah.
Sun-Kissed.
Yeah.
No drinking.
Why not?
My dad. He was an alcoholic. Well,
So was my
was.
dad.
Yeah. Well, I'm just afraid of what it could lead to.
Oh, you
You
don't
know what I
trust
mean?
yourself.
I don't trust myself. I think I would be a really annoying, raging alcoholic.
So you never drank?
I've tasted, but I've never had like a buzz or anything like that.
Oh.
You know, I remember, so what I relate it to, I mean, if we're going to go like real deep here,
Sure.
is my dad would never really say anything. I mean, he's a very quiet person to begin with, but he would never say, "Oh, Julie, I love you." You know, there was no emotion there unless he had at least 5 to 6 beers in him.
Yeah, and then they get sloppy drunk.
And then and then by that time he's already had the beers, and then he takes shots of Jack Daniels. And then, so there's that. So I only heard that when he was, 3 sheets to the wind. And then my mom, I never heard it from her because she's a robot.
Did she ever get drunk or no?
My mom doesn't drink.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, my dad not used to, he still does.
Yeah.
And quite a bit of my family still does. They passed down some very high tolerance to alcohol genes to me,
Yeah.
which is good because I don't get sloppy drunk. And I don't feel like I have to do it
Right.
to the point where it's like, I don't remember the last time I had a drink, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I don't behave the way they do.
Well, that's good.
Maybe I don't know. Sometimes I think it's because I know that, so that's always sitting in my head, and I'm like, that's everything that I
conscious
hated about it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when I see friends and stuff get like that, I get pissed, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. Done. Yeah.
We're not drinking no more. You need to go home,
Yeah.
and you're not allowed to do that at my house no more. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
You've reached your limit in my house. Find a way home.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, it was when I was living in Oregon. I had a recording studio up there, and we had, the artists that I would work with come over, and we had a little gathering at our house, and one of them brought some friends and kids out in the backyard throwing up, and I'm like, "You guys need to go."
No.
I was like, "That it's gone too far. You don't
That's
know
it.
your limit.
Yeah.
Out."
Because then they could start getting stupid,
Yeah.
and then you're liable for.
I'm not even liable. I don't even want. You ruined it.
Yeah. You ruin the fun.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
having a good time. Why you got to do that?
It's just I never saw the appeal of getting
That
so
drunk.
shit faced
Yeah.
that the next day you feel like crap.
I don't get hungover either,
Well, that's good.
which is weird.
But you're, one in how many people that don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone that I know that has ever gotten drunk or whatever, they go out, spend way too much on a drink than that they can just drink at home. I get it's the atmosphere.
You're $100 deep on something you could have spent $20
right.
on it.
I just never understood it.
Yeah. Well, like, for instance, when we go, I pick her up from the park and ride after work.
Yeah.
And on Fridays, it's like a revolving door of people coming in and out of, Circle K with 12 packs and
Yeah.
whatever, 24 packs of beer. And I'm like, every Friday?
Every Friday.
Like clockwork? Wow.
That's actually my brother. That's the only day he does. My older brother. Just Fridays, just to unwind from the week. But he stays in his house, him and his wife. They do their thing, chill out.
I'm a social drinker when I do it. Or I'll have just like one drink if we're eating someplace, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not drinking to get drunk at all. I'm just drinking it because I like whatever it is.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause you like the
what is
taste of
that?
I think the last drink you had was probably New Year's when you had The
Yeah, we bought
rum and
some.
hot chocolate?
Yeah, we bought some stuff for New Year's because we didn't go nowhere. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, we'll go to the liquor store. That was the first time I've been to the liquor store since our wedding.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had coconut rum and hot chocolate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How was it?
I liked it.
Yeah.
You can't drink too much or you'll be in the bathroom, but
Oh, like throwing up
No.
or shitting.
yes.
Because of the hot chocolate, not the alcohol.
Yeah, because of the hot
Oh
chocolate.
yeah, yeah.
I'm lactose intolerant, so
Oh, that's exciting.
and I love cheese.
Oh, same. Yeah,
So, it's a dirty habit.
yeah. I think I got a touch of that myself. I'll self-diagnose myself. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I self-diagnose too because after so many times, you're just like,
You're like, that's got to be a thing. Every time I have dairy,
yeah. I just ate a whole bunch of ice cream and
why do I feel like a shit ice cream? Soft serve.
He's just making a mountain.
I like teasing our daughter because she's discovered that she's lactose intolerant too, but she's very young. I didn't start having issues until I was like 30.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you gotta shit your pants. You're like, let's go get ice cream. You're gonna shit your pants.
So you're already building that thick skin for her.
They have to.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them already have it.
They have to.
When
That's
you
good.
have a dad like him that whips out his boob at a Chinese restaurant and tries to breastfeed a teenager,
This sounds like a Family Guy episode. What's happening? What?
So one daughter's mine and one daughter is hers. So it's
Yeah.
like Brady Bunch shit, except for on a small scale.
Yeah.
So mine's been psychologically abused since she was born,
Yes.
but hers hasn't. So
A
she's
nice young mind to mold.
So it's like she's less tolerant of it, but mine, I'm over here at we're at the Chinese buffet in Arizona, and I'm like,
leading in real
Yeah,
close,
I'm
asking
like-
her, "Do you want a drink?"
Like, how does that even come up in?
just random.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best.
That is the best.
It is, because then they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Put your boob away. And then they start blushing. And
I can only imagine the people around you. Like, if it was like a hopping Saturday night, everyone's like, oh, they're bringing out the consumers into the community. And it's not during the week.
Exactly. I try to keep it undercover so she's not thoroughly embarrassed. I'm not standing
Liar.
Well,
I'm
whipping-
not
Liar.
standing on the table.
But you're whipping out a boob. How is keeping any of that undercover when you're physically taking it out of the cover?
It looks
that
like
it's
a
in.
wrinkle in my sweater
No.
with a nipple. Yeah. Half of it's covered by my hand as I'm doing this.
Even better. So more focus on the hand that's on your tit.
Yes.
That is
I'm
under.
deflecting the eyes.
See how my eye goes directly for your hand, which is on your boob.
It's like the blinders on horses.
No tunnel vision here.
How do you explain when we're in the store and you just come up behind one of us and throw your shirt over our head as we're in the store?
Ah, yes.
That's a trap.
A trap. A booby trap?
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Are you the booby?
No. You're trying to trap us with your booby.
With the boobies.
Till you fuck the back of your head.
There you go.
That's gross. Now I know those are not gray hairs in the back.
Oh, I think we veered way off topic.
Possibly.
Yeah, quite possibly.
So we were having a conversation about receding hairlines and why.
Which ones?
Well, that's the thing. Guys, when they get receding hairlines, it goes from here and ends out in their nose and their ears and everywhere else
Yeah.
or back. And I'm
butt
wondering why you can't have one of those receding hairlines on your ass. So just the whole is hairless, but your cheeks have the fur.
Everything else.
Yeah.
So you look like Friar Tuck.
Looks like
So you look like a cat's ass.
well, yeah,
Like a little
kinda.
cinnamon roll.
So you can clean it easier. You don't have to it's like cleaning mud in a carpet.
Well, that's what waxing is for. Why don't you wax it?
I don't feel comfortable just spreading my cheeks at some.
But you'll
person.
whip a tit out in a restaurant, but you won't go to somewhere where it's just you and another person.
And I'm like
And they're
staring
applying-
into my kaleidoscope.
You looked me dead straight on when you said that. It made me a little uncomfortable.
He's trying to hypnotize you with his third eye.
You wanna see
Balloon knot.
you want to see the third eye?
Oh my God.
They're gonna get pink eye from doing that shit.
Just from look. Don't breathe.
Yeah, you're gonna get E. coli. How did you get that? Well, there was this guy.
There was a client who just came from a Mexican restaurant.
He got up on the front counter of the place and spread his ass and said, "Can you do something about this?"
Dropped trow and said,
And he had his titty out.
He just came in butt ass naked. I don't know. There was no one with him. No one claimed him.
No one claimed she was in the car pretending she wasn't involved.
I wasn't
Asleep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I will support you from afar.
See? Oh, support.
That is a smart woman.
Supporting.
Yeah. That is
She tries to pretend that she's an innocent
She's not stopping you, though.
No, she's not.
That is support.
It is.
I like that.
And so,
I'll let you be free to be whoever you want to be.
speaking of supporting, our story of you did what was us breaking into a castle in Arizona. And I feel like I can go ahead and say this publicly because somebody purchased this castle and ruined it.
Oh.
So, in downtown Phoenix, there's this castle on Camelback Mountain, which is like a main mountain range right in the middle of the city. And some dentist way back in the 70s, 70s and early 80s built this castle up there, like a legit stone,
Really?
drawbridge, dungeon.
Porn star mansion.
No kidding.
Yeah. And it's been there forever and ever and ever. And I think at one point in time they did tours, but if they did, it was for a very short period of time. It's just always been vacant.
Okay.
So, and since I was a little kid, I wanted to go in there. And I'm like, God, I want to go in this castle. I've got like an obsession with that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to go
Breaking
into
and
this
entering?
castle.
Okay.
No, the castles.
Both, actually.
So when I moved, because I was living in Oregon for a while, and then I moved back, and that's when we started doing nasty shit together.
Hey.
So I was like, let's go up to that castle. And we went up there and we're just hanging out, and I was like, I'm going to jump that gate. And then it's this driveway.
It's very steep.
Yeah. It's like 45-degree angle. Like,
my God.
It's really, really steep. And they got this gate that's probably like a 15-foot wrought iron gate. And I'm like, okay, I think I can get over it if I jump on this rock.
Oh my God.
And he's
Wow.
like, here, you go first, so I will help you.
Yeah. So now keep in mind that there's houses like within a few hundred feet of this. This is like mega rich area.
Yeah.
You know, big time mansions, super wealthy people. And we're just parked up there trying to jump this gate.
Don't mind us, everyone. Scoping out the
This
place.
is the neighborhood that big fucking stupid brown guy is not supposed to be in.
We're the neighborhood watch,
Yeah.
making sure everything's okay.
And so we strategically parked the car down the way and we break into this place. Did we go up there twice? We did go up there twice.
Yeah, but we only went in once.
We only went in once. So the first time we went up there,
Because I think the kids were waiting for us in the car.
something was happening. But we went up and I was like, oh, okay. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I really wish we could get in there. There was one room that was open. So the back of this castle is like a breezeway. And there's multiple doors that go into different rooms of the castle. And the very end one, it was open. You could just walk in. So it was like real like 70s porn shit going on in there. Mirrors and secret doors and shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, there's probably semen everywhere.
get the black light. It's just white.
So, you know, the main part of the house, I was like, I got to go in there because I heard there was a waterfall in there. So I'm like, I got to go in there. And we're trying to figure out how to do this. And I was like, we're going to go home and get some tools.
That's commitment.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's all about the intent.
I
Yeah.
guess.
So we head home, and I didn't have any tools at the time. We were living at her house. She had this little baby blue bullshit toolbox. Looks like for kids.
For women.
Yeah, I guess.
Here's a hammer.
The hammer, if you swing it too hard, will fall apart.
It's only good for nailing up tiny little pictures.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, let's take this. I got an idea. So we go up there and we get back all the way up behind there. And my idea was the window or the door that goes into the kitchen had little small window panes, like little 6x6 squares. And I'm like, I'll just take one of the panes out, reach in and open the door.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was thinking normal doors, they have wood trim, you can just pop the trim off. And I was like, that wasn't happening.
No.
It was like solid.
Uh-oh.
So I was like, I started just trying to cut the wood away to get the glass out. Wow. I was like, this is taking way too fucking long.
That's determination.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I take that shitty hammer and I'm like, I'm just fucking breaking it. And I hit it and it bounces off the glass.
Shut up.
And it fucking echoed off the side of this mountain so loud.
God, you're kidding me.
I'm like, oh my God. I was like,
You
we're going to
cringe.
jail, right?
Tonight's the night, baby.
And then, like, moments later, we hear people coming up the driveway.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, there's nowhere for us to go.
Oh my God.
Because you're behind this thing. It's like this big castle on a cliff.
I would have dropped dead.
I'm just like, what the fuck are we going to do? I don't even know who it is because I
Yeah.
can't see them, but I hear them. And they stop at the driveway goes through the castle and comes up behind it. And they stop right there where it goes through. And they're just talking. And I'm like, they don't belong here either.
Team.
No, it wasn't a team, but I was like, we sat there for a little while. I was like, we got to make some kind of noise so they get scared and leave.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to rustle shit around or whatever. I don't want them to see us.
Yeah.
But I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I haven't broke in yet.
I haven't even done anything illegal yet.
Yeah. So eventually they do leave. So I'm like, okay, back to work.
Jesus.
I get the piece of glass out and we go in. And unfortunately, it didn't get us into the entire place because there's other doors, so we couldn't get into those. But, you can go in and every like big, huge window on the front of this thing has this, like 6 panes of glass that open up for like a balcony. And you can walk out on these wrought iron things.
That's pretty cool.
But there's like, in the one section of the living room, there's a waterfall on the corner.
Which there's a fireplace behind the waterfall.
Yeah. And then as you turn to come around, there's a bar in the ground. And then, like, I don't want to call it a jacuzzi. It's just a small pool in the middle of the living room.
A really deep one.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Really?
there's been a lot of fucking going on.
There's
here.
some shit, man.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, this is Playboy Mansion Grotto bullshit.
God.
Right?
You probably do tours there.
They used to.
For a little bit, I'm sure they did.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Tours.
So, and then there's a sauna right there. This is all in the living room area.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So then if you leave that area and you go down, there's like a stone stairway that goes down and there's this like conversation pit, a big, huge square area. And I was like, oh, this is gross.
A lot of conversations went on there.
I was like, this is so gross.
Oh God. It's just like taste. What?
Yeah. You're like, well, I'm very interested in exploring some more, but I'm going to be careful on what I'm touching.
Were there any cameras?
No. The
Interesting.
place has just been abandoned because how it went down is the dentist who built it, I think he got in trouble. I don't know for sure, but rumor has it he got in trouble for some tax shit.
Oh, okay.
Some dirty money stuff.
Yeah.
And they seized it from him. And then at auction, one of his buddies bought it
Okay.
for dirt cheap. And then he got in tax problems and then sold it again. And the guy who bought it at the time when we broke in, he had owned it for a long time, but hadn't lived in there for a long time. It was just vacant.
It was just vacant, so he just had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was up for sale when we went into it.
I don't
They
know.
wanted like $10 million for it or something absurd.
Really?
Yeah. So,
It's like a brothel.
yeah.
Hey, it had a dungeon too with
It
a
did.
bar in it.
There was a secret passage. You had to press the wall and it opened.
Shut up. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was multiple There's like a whole bunch in there.
What?
And so you push it and you walk through the mountain. It's like carved out stone. And you go down this hallway and then it turns to the left and there's another bar in this dungeon down there, you know, and it's just like a private little.
Can you imagine if you opened it and then it just closed behind you?
Yeah, trust me. Trust me. All those thoughts, especially after those people were coming up the driveway.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I'm like, I'm going to fucking jail because these people are rich around here.
Yeah.
And I'm not white.
That is very true. I am very brown. Oh, God.
So, yeah. Then, you know, once we explored as much as we could explore, we're like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So we're coming down the driveway and those people are still there.
Uh-oh.
They're down by the gate. And I was like, well, fuck them. I know they don't belong here at this point.
Yeah. You should be like, it's pretty cool. Go check it out.
That's what I did.
You did? That's amazing.
That's what I did. I was like, hey, just a heads up. It's open.
That was awesome.
And jumped over the fence and got the fuck out of there.
Oh, they didn't say anything? Or?
They were like, oh, really? And I was like,
Uh-huh. Bye.
yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, that was pretty terrifying.
You really put my story to shame, but that's pretty cool. I'm like, I'm going to run for 9 miles.
Yeah.
Like, I broke into a castle.
We didn't even get to check out the helicopter pad that was up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't realize, because there's videos about it now that somebody
Yeah.
dug out of the woodworks. It was like on this.
With Bob Vila. He went with Bob
Yeah,
Vila.
Bob Vila went in there.
Yeah.
So he went in there with the original owner, and it's a super short video.
Yeah.
But you
But
can see all
apparently
the porn star
the
action
ceiling in the ceiling in the living room retracts. It opens up.
going on. It used to.
Yeah. It used to, because now it's like a skeleton of what it was.
Wow.
So the second owner, or
It's
the
an art-
owner that owned it when we went there, he was into some weird cowboy shit. So he took like all the old knight stuff that the original owner had in there and had Western themed bullshit going on. I'm like,
That's weird.
you ruined this.
Yeah. You ruined the R. Kelly house.
Yeah. Luckily, when we went in, it was all out of there, so it was just the remnants of porn mansion or whatever.
Wow.
The current owner literally gutted it. The only thing left is the front wall.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks. You guys didn't get any pictures?
A really bad one because I didn't want a flash going off on the side of this mountain.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Pull it up. What's it called? Copenhagen Castle or something like that?
No, I don't even know what it's called. I can't pronounce it.
Just type in Camelback Mountain Castle. So, but yeah, I tried to talk to the new owner, but I think he's pretty private.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what are you doing? Not to chastise him, but I'm just like, what do you, like, you have a rendering of your plan?
Yeah.
You know, and they never answered back, but I saw a bunch of current photos of it, because when we went down there 2 years ago for her father's funeral, we decided to drive up there, and it was like, my fucking heart just fell out.
Oh, no.
I was like, no, they didn't.
Is that it?
Yeah. So
Shut up.
Pull it up on the other screen so everybody can look at it.
Wow.
So scroll to that top left one, Angela.
This one?
Yeah. So yeah, see the big square on the left-hand side right there?
Yeah.
That's where the driveway goes through and comes around the back side of it.
Okay.
Because this right here they said it was the servants' quarters, so the driveway goes underneath the servants' quarters.
That's actually the area where we were able to get in that was unlocked.
Okay.
Yeah, because these 4 are bedrooms, and right next to this one is where the kitchen is,
Yeah.
and this is all living room up there.
Yeah. So let me see here.
Well, this is a better view of those.
Yeah. So that's.
Oh, yeah.
that's
Those
definitely a
are
better
the
view.
balconies you were saying.
Yeah. So there's so much more because the current owner, when they were doing the demo, I think there was a video with them, but they're still finding secret passages.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, there was like tons of them. Click on that. Yeah, click on that. Oh, great. Now we're going to find some weird stuff.
Yep.
Go back to that. You're going to give me a virus.
Well, this is
Yeah, that's
the
pool.
grotto.
That's the pool in the living room.
That is.
And there was water in it when we went.
I'm sure it was water.
Yeah.
Well, then there's
So yeah. Well, okay. So the bar wasn't in the ground. There was another conversation pit over there by the
because
pool.
it's right here. There's one here.
Yeah. And if you look right above that little square thing, that's where the roof slides open. Right there. Yep.
Wow.
So now the only thing that's left is that big front wall. I know there's that picture that you tried to click on is how much demo they did. See, yeah.
Oh my god.
So they're making this thing huge.
Yeah. Here's the other
Yeah,
one.
click on that.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like when we drove up.
So they're
And I was
expanding
like,
it?
Yeah. They're trying to do,
They're trying to make this a balcony.
Oh, okay.
I think they're going to open it up for events and stuff like that.
I gotcha.
So, because there was really no practical reason for the way it was originally built other than drugs and sex.
Yeah.
So, for them to try to do something to generate money and support itself, I'm sure that they just couldn't have used it the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need any other reason besides sex and drugs, right?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, whatever you're into.
When you're living on the side of a mountain in a castle, you just assume
What more do you need?
that's highest priority.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Your
So
values are clearly not.
So here's a more updated picture of the balcony that they're doing. So they
That's
have a
really
balcony here, and then they're
ugly.
going to do another one up there.
Yeah, they really ruined
Because
it.
this area right here was actually the garage. There was like a 3-car garage. right
Yeah,
here.
and a fountain. And
So all underneath that then is secret passageways.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
messed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and on the top, the building was made so they can land helicopters on it, and there's like a drawbridge that went down over the driveway so you can walk up onto the mountain.
Wow.
Yeah,
Not
see,
like
this is
like
the-
a real fancy drawbridge or anything.
But do you have a drawbridge?
I will.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So this is the front door. So you come up the driveway here, and then there's the fountain. This is the garage, and that's the front door.
Yeah. So the kitchen door is off to the right. You can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I broke into.
Okay. With the cheesy hammer that
Yeah.
bounced back.
Yeah. Yeah. That took a long time to cut that piece of glass out. But I left it there intact. I was like, here, they can
You
fix
should have
this.
taken it like as a memento.
No, I just break it. I don't take things.
Okay. Aw, that's so
I'm not the type that writes my names on stuff. I'm like,
no
just-
graffitis.
You're just not going to keep me from seeing something I've wanted to see my entire life.
That's pretty cool though. Nice.
So we could probably wrap this one up. What do you think? You got anything you want to ask about us?
No, I'm sure I'll think of something some other time.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah,
And the ghost.
and the coast. Thank you, Julie.
No problem.
Talk to you guys later.